What is up, Terps fans? Welcome into another Fear the Podcast. I'm Matt Modderno. I'm joined here by Adam Hammer. Just Adam, we're gonna get right into it, man. We're gonna go through the Big Ten here today. We're previewing it. We're drafting some teams. I'm excited to do it. For anybody who didn't check Adam's previous appearance on the podcast, go back and do that. It was an awesome one. But you can also find him on the BlueBlooded college basketball podcast with his brother Ryan Hammer. He's the GM of the podcast. Does all things behind the scenes, on the mic, everything. We know Ryan needs a lot of help, so I'm glad that you're there to take care of him, Adam.
Yeah, someone needs to humble him along the way. I'm happy to be that person. By the way, Matt, my juices are flowing after that intro video. Like, we're back. Two
We're
weeks.
we're back. It's time, man. I'm so hyped. I can't do more secret scrimmage, subtweets from Trilly and all these other guys. Before we get too far into it, folks, if you could hit that like button for us if you're watching on YouTube, always appreciate that stuff. Rate, review, subscribe. Part of the InsideMDSports.com, Inside Maryland Sports, IMS, whatever you want to call it, family of podcasts here. So go check us out there. And got some cool stuff coming for you. Their next game is on Monday, 7 p.m. exhibition game against UMBC. So on Saturday, I will have UMBC head coach Jim Ferry on to preview his team and figure who better than the coach himself to talk about what Maryland can expect and how real a test it'll be. So we'll get into it. Just a couple maybe news and notes here before we get going. Maryland did play a not so secret scrimmage against West Virginia. They lost 93-72. By all accounts, they weren't trying, which is what every team ever that loses a scrimmage says. So no big deal. David Coit didn't play. Solomon Washington didn't play. Heard Andre Mills looked really good, so I like hearing that. So just I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited. Adam, I don't know. How are you feeling with the games, basically on the horizon here at this point?
I'm just excited. I think I fall into the camp of I largely have no idea what to expect from this Maryland team,
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
that's a little scary because, like, Buzz team ceilings have typically been pretty low,
Hmm.
and I think this is a weird case where like you don't even know what the floor looks like.
Yeah,
So I'm I don't think they're a Final Four team by any means, but they're going to play a specific type of basketball that is going to be tough to play against. So I'm just happy it's back, to be honest with you. It doesn't even like I'll get
anything will
over
be good.
the
Yeah.
couple wins, couple losses. We'll figure it out along the way.
I've been doing a lot of like comparing to last year's team, which I think is just a stupid thing to do, and I'm going to stop. But I'm now trying to compare it to. I watched a lot of Texas A&M for this film breakdown we've got coming up here pretty soon, and I like this team should be like comparable to that team, and that was pretty good, right? Like that's a top 25-ish caliber team all year. So hopefully some of the same things click for this group here as well. We're going to do a snake draft of the top 10 Big Ten teams from, well, maybe not top 10, but we're going to each take 5 Big Ten teams. And then at the end of the year, I want to come back together and go through and see whose Big Ten teams collected the most wins. We'll maybe give some kind of weighted extra credit for tournament wins at the end here. I don't know if it's double is fair or 1.5 or whatever the case may be, but teams that will make some run in March Madness is a little heavily favored here. But we'll go through that in a minute. But first, Adam, on your guys' podcast, Ryan just so ungraciously did not let you give your full 18 team Big Ten power
Yeah,
rankings.
I
Which,
mean
come on, man.
it was an hour already. I mean, what's another hour at that point, right?
Yeah, exactly. Seriously, but that's what the people are here for. The streets are calling for it. So I want to give you the floor here. Run us through your 18 team power rankings for the Big Ten.
Nice. I appreciate that. I will say, by the way, I told Ryan at the beginning of this whole thing, like, hey man, this is your show. I'm along for the ride,
Sure.
and I'd rather people chirp at him than chirp at me. That said,
There you go.
I do have a graphic too. This will get put out at some point
Oh, I like
in
it.
the next couple of days.
Okay.
Yeah, so similar to what Ryan already does.
Yep.
I'll just like I kind of have some tiers. So like my
Okay.
top four, well, my top one is Purdue.
Yeah, I think that's safe.
From a regular season standpoint, I think no brainer, two All Americans.
Hmm.
They're going to be. They could have three guys on the first team, all Big Ten. They're going to be that good.
Yeah.
Michigan, UCLA, Illinois.
Okay.
I love Donovan Dent. I love what Dusty May's doing. Illinois, like I think this is like the bottom of this tier. I would
Hmm.
say Michigan, UCLA, Illinois. I'm, as the whole country is, unbelievably intrigued by this whole Eastern European, Eastern Bloc thing that they got going on in Champaign. Um, but they're going to be able to shoot the ball. They're bringing
Hopefully.
back, yeah, well, you
Last
would
year's team
think
I thought would shoot the ball too. They shot the ball, they just never made anything. So
that's
I'm with you.
fair, but like the European
Yeah,
style
it
of
should
play
work.
is everyone can shoot. Like
Yeah,
Andrei Stojakovic could shoot. Kylan Boswell, who's not Eastern European, will be just fine leading that team. So I think they're going to be good. Again, one of those teams that like I don't know how good, but I feel confident that they'll be top 3 or 4 in the Big Ten.
I like it.
After that, like I think this is where I differentiate the most. I didn't know what to do.
There's just 10
Um,
teams basically.
yeah, like basically, like I'm looking down at my list, like 5 through 13. I could legitimately see 5 finishing 13 and 13 finishing 5.
Yeah, same.
But the way I have it is I have Ohio State at 5, which I think is different.
Okay.
I'm not a big Jake Diebler fan. I am a huge Bruce Thornton fan. Who isn't?
Is
But like,
anybody a Jake Diebler fan other than Jake Diebler, Jake Diebler's family, John Diebler? I mean, maybe
yeah,
whoever else is
the
around. Like,
athletic department of Ohio State.
apparently, yeah,
I don't know. All I know is that like the trio of Thornton, Royal, and Mobley
yeah,
is going to be really good, and I think can minimize a lot of the concerns that we may or may not be right about. It doesn't matter
sure.
at Ohio State, and frankly, like I don't love anybody below them enough. I have Michigan State at 6. I'm not going to sit here and doubt Tom Izzo.
Sure.
I do think they're asking like quite a lot from their freshmen, who are familiar names to the Maryland fans. Cam Ward, I know. I don't know how much Jordan Scott's going to play, but like Cam Ward, they need to kind of be a dude, and he might be, but is he going to have enough minutes? I don't know. Jackson Kohler's good. Jeremy Fears is really good. They'll be good because of Izzo and because it's Michigan State, but I think they're cap ceiling.
Fair.
I have Oregon at 7. I mean, maybe the best duo in the entire conference.
Sure.
I don't know how the broken hand concerns me, but I'm not sure like how bad it is. Ryan was like, no big deal. Jackson, sorry, I should have said Jackson Shelstead broke his hand.
Yeah. Their star point guard, which is basically half their entire team, I think.
Yeah, and him and Nate Biddle can run pick and rolls all day long. Yeah. So concerned, but they're still really good. I have Indiana at 8. I actually heavily considered Indiana at 5, but I refuse to give that fan base anything.
They're just the
positive.
fucking worst, man. I'm sorry. I didn't say earmuffs for anybody listening in the car with their kids,
okay.
But they're just brutal. They're still chirping at me because I said Kevin Willard underachieved less frequently than Mike Woodson did, and he's not even there anymore.
Yeah, our podcast is called BlueBlooded. They're not included.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Fair.
Not important. That said, like I think DeVries was a really good hire. His son's awesome. Reed Bailey's really good.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing in this Lamar Wilkerson kid from Sam Houston, I think it is, who like scored 40 almost twice last year.
He shoots the shit out of it for sure.
Yeah, I think I think their ceiling. This might be a spoiler alert for our draft. I think they have a higher ceiling than Oregon, Michigan State, Ohio State. I just don't know how they're going to get there or how long it's going to take.
Mm-hmm.
I have Iowa at 9. Similarly, totally new look. Like in maybe the best coaching hire in the whole conference. They're gonna. It's going to be the biggest difference in like college basketball between the Fran McCaffrey style and the Ben McCollum style, which is going to be slow as molasses.
Although DeVries from Woodson might also just be like, oh, we run crisp offense versus whatever, which is crazy.
True,
they went the total other way, both those teams, which
I love. The Indiana fans will like the change, and the Iowa fans will be like,
harder to watch, but
harder to watch. But I mean, I'm not going to sit here and doubt them. And Bennett Sturtz, 2 All-Americans or 3 All-Americans in the conference aside, is maybe a top 5 player in the conference. I don't think he's going to make the first team because it's really stacked, but he could be. I have Maryland at 10. Again, I kind of mentioned it before. Like I don't really know what to do with them. Think they're going to be somewhere in the bubble range, but I think they're better than I don't get the Wisconsin love. I saw that they were ranked in the AP poll, which I guess is just like commonplace for a Greg Gard team.
John Tanji was so good and Nick Boyd was so average, and that's basically the trade-off there. And Andrew Rohde, it's like I like them, but not like top 5 for some people.
I think they were what were they in the AP poll? I have it opened here. They're number 24 in the. They're above North Carolina
Yeah,
and
that's
like
kind of wild.
above NC State and above Oregon. They're above San Diego State in the AP poll. I don't get any of that. I do like John Blackwell. I like Nolan Winter. I don't see any depth there. You could sell me on Greg Gard winning because he's a good coach.
Spoiler
But
for our draft. That's gonna that may factor into it for me. Just the Greg Gardness of it.
yeah, it's true. Like he just kind of finds ways. But I have them at 11. I have Washington at 12. I think Ryan had Washington at like 6.
Yeah.
Um, they're basically just like the two best players from USC last year, and then some European guys. Really intriguing. I actually think I made this list probably 2 weeks ago.
Mm.
I'd be tempted to like move them up, even like above Maryland and Wisconsin, just because I think their ceiling's a little bit higher with the
Yeah.
European guys. Like Hannah Steinbeck looked great the other day.
Mm.
I know, exhibition, but like him and Desmond Claude, Wesley Yates, like I mean, scoring's not going to be a problem.
Yeah, they're legit.
Danny Sprinkle hasn't quite figured it out yet, but I think he can.
I went to watch Utah State where he was previously, like 2 years ago. They played Santa Clara at Santa Clara, and I wanted to see Ian Martinez and what he looked like for them. And just everything they did was like light years ahead
Yeah,
of what a well-coached Herb Sendek team was doing. And I was just like, holy shit, I don't know who Danny Sprinkle is, but
it's a
he,
great name too.
yeah, exactly. But he's legit, so I buy that.
Yeah, he's going to be really good. And then I have USC rounding out like that 5 through 13, Ohio State through USC.
Mm-hmm.
They're banged up, no secret.
Yeah,
I really hope Rodney
I know.
like is their guy. It'll be like, look, I don't think any of us have any ill will towards any of the players here. Um, so I'm really excited for him. There's a chance that he just has the green light in
He
a
might absolutely lead the
Musselman
conference in scoring for them too.
in an Eric Musselman
Yeah.
offense. Like he's gonna shoot the crap out of the ball. So I'm excited for him.
Same.
At the bottom of the conference, I'll just like rattle it off. I got Northwestern at 14 because they have the best player left in Nick Martinelli. I have Minnesota at 15 because I like their coaching hire better than anybody else at the bottom of the list.
The Cade Tyson factor, obviously, world beater.
Oh
Cade
yeah,
Tyson.
sure, love Kate. I know. I mean, Nico Medved has been. Anybody listening to this podcast already knows how the Maryland fan base feels about him. Nebraska at 16, Rutgers at 17, Penn State at 18. I don't know. Put those teams in a hat and mix it up.
Yeah. I'm with you. The only team I'm higher on, I think, like drastically, then is Nebraska. I think they're
Sure.
like sneaky, really, really good. But we'll see. I'll say that, and they'll probably finish second to last in the league or something. Now that I said that a lot, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
the Big Ten is always so hard because like the middle of the conference just beats the
Yeah,
crap out of each other. I think Sanford will be pretty good for Nebraska. They got our boy Connor Segian out there. He looked pretty bad last year.
yeah, that was tough.
And like if he's bad again, I don't think they're going to be very good.
I just want to say Burke-Burkton-Shell a bunch of times, so I need Nebraska to
They got some names. What's the Ugnius Yarosevich? They got some
not
names.
even trying that one. Yep.
Yeah, they got some names out there, so that'll be fun.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you for doing that. I think that was it's a nice way to frame things of just kind of like where our heads are at going in this draft here. I did the previous one just kind of crushing the media list because I just don't really get some of those placements. But
You mean the Big Ten
the
media
Big
list?
Ten media list, yeah, it just sort of like there were some head scratchers to me for some of those teams, but
Yeah,
we'll digress.
the biggest thing that stood out there for me was they put John Blackwell on like the first team, and they left off like Tomislav Ivicic
Yeah.
on Illinois, which makes zero sense to me. But what do I know?
Everybody loves them some John Blackwell, and it's like,
I know.
are we sure that he's just magically going to take on all
No,
that
well,
offensive burden?
I think it's
like,
just the John Tanji effect. Is they're like, well, he'll just turn into John Tanji, and he,
Yeah.
by the way, he might,
yeah, he could.
but
Yeah.
we don't know that yet.
Yeah, agreed. All right, let's get into this. Well, actually, first, I got to ask you because nobody can have a Big Ten podcast, apparently, without asking this one question. Do you think this is the year that a Big Ten team wins a national title?
No, I don't. I think they can, but people are asking that question for a reason. So until it happens, I'll keep saying no.
I do think it's like maybe not the closest I've ever been, but I really like where this league is at from a coaching perspective. Like they've stepped their game up. DeVries is a great hire. You mentioned McCollum. Like Nico Medved is just like a whiz. Danny Sprinkle is gonna like figure it out. Musselman's made deep runs. They've got dudes coming in next year too. So like,
Yeah.
if it's not this year, which I don't think it'll be either, I think it's coming soon. So hopefully it's Maryland in 2 or 3 years with
I'll
us.
take that. I think there are two teams like realistically can,
Yeah,
but I'm not sure that they will.
yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think the odds are stacked against them conference wise. All right, let's do this draft thing here. Let's get it going. Adam, do you want me to take first pick, or do you want to take first pick?
Why don't you take first pick?
Okay. I home court advantage. I appreciate that. I need all the help I can get on the draft here. I'm going to shock the world here and go Purdue at number one. You just have to, for all the reasons you mentioned. Like, everybody's hyping up Omer Meyer, and he may not even play that much for this team,
It's
which is
crazy.
is just nuts. Like, I think Daniel Jacobson is going to eventually be really good. He may barely play for this team. So they're
Yeah,
just
like
deep
uh,
everywhere.
they got Oscar Clough on top of the three guys they have returning,
Yeah.
plus Jacobson, who yeah, I mean I think that they are like going to win the conference by 2 games
Yeah. Same.
because they're so consistent. They. I don't think they're going to go undefeated because the Big Ten's impossible to
Yeah.
play on the road.
Yeah.
But like they could very easily lose like 2 or 3 games in the conference, and I wouldn't be surprised.
100% agree. I think this is probably the team that's like best positioned to take a major injury and still just like run through the conference because it just doesn't
I
really
think
matter to them.
Braden Smith
It
aside,
would
yes.
it would be tough. Yeah, I mean, if you lose the player of the year in the conference,
Yeah.
but even then, I wouldn't like write them out as still like contending
No,
at the top of the conference. Maybe just not
no, no.
not lapping the field.
I agree. So I did talk about this a little bit on the podcast with Ryan. Like one of my hot takes is that even though everything I just said is true, I don't think Purdue will get the furthest in the tournament.
I
I,
tend to agree with you.
I don't. My second in like if I'm picking two here.
Yeah, you're going to take two in a row, so we'll snake it. So you go 2 and 3.
I'll go Michigan and Illinois
Okay.
simply because, and I would have taken Purdue first just from like a safety standpoint, but
Mm-hmm.
I think Michigan specifically, like with behind Yaxel and like a really well coached team.
Yep.
I love Trey McKinney. I don't even know how much he's going to play. I think they have a really really high ceiling. I do worry a little bit that they may be out of control, but in the tournament you just got to get hot. And I think Illinois is the other team that could do it with all those Euro guys. Like if they
Yeah.
come into form and they start playing really well together, both of those teams are going to be really hard to beat.
I totally agree with you. I think we've seen teams that just dominate the offensive glass make good tournament runs, and Michigan is just gigantic, especially if they start all three big men,
Yep.
which they may do for till the first media timeout and then sub somebody out. But they got to get healthy. They did lose a scrimmage the other week, but they like weren't playing two of their 5 best players, so I think
Yeah.
that's another kind of throwaway result. The only thing I was scared about from that is a bunch of Roddy Gale turnovers for a team that had a lot of Roddy Gale turnovers last year. And Trey McKinney, his jump shot looked very, very Charles Barkley golf swing esque to me. So
Yeah, and they're asking they're asking a lot of Roddy Gale. They're asking a
yeah,
lot of Elliot Cadeau.
mm-hmm,
I get the concern. I think the ceiling is what
agreed.
did Michael Jordan say? Ceiling is the
It's the
roof.
roof. Yep,
The ceiling
100%.
is the roof. I love Morez Johnson, by the way. I want to throw that out there.
Yeah, I think everybody will love watching him
Yeah,
play,
he
except
screams.
former Illinois. All the
True.
Illinois fans about him
True.
jumping ship. I'm with you. These are the next two teams I had. I flip flopped the order, but either
Sure.
way, started nitpicking. Yeah, just Illinois is going to be like really, really fun, and we'll see.
Okay. I think this is the point of the draft where it could get fun because like my order won't be what I just said.
Okay, I like that. I'm gonna kind of left field it here a little bit. I'm actually gonna take Michigan State 4, just solely because the floor is so high.
Yeah.
Like I've just guaranteed a top 6 finish basically because even when they're bad, they're somehow 6th or 7th in the league. And I think just once Izzo gets in the tournament, he'll find a way to win a game or two. So I just think that's a safe one here, so that I can go a little. Well, okay. I'm struggling with this next one here. There's a team I want to pick, and then there's a smarter choice. You know what? I'm gonna go UCLA
Nice.
5. That was not the team I really wanted to pick, but it's just so hard to bet against them with what they got coming back.
I mean, you know the style they're going to play. Donovan Dent is like the most perfect fit for what Mick Cronin wants to do, and he could win Player of the Year of this conference,
He's really good.
nobody would bat an eye at it.
Yep. Bilodeau is really good. Daly's really good. if either of their bigs in Jamerson or Booker are just serviceable, I think they're going to be really tough. So, and then
Yep.
the Michigan State one explains itself, I think. So you are back up with picks
Cool.
6 and 7.
This is where I'll start to differ from my list earlier because I'm not going to
Okay.
play it safe here. I'm going to take Oregon and Indiana
Okay.
strictly from a ceiling perspective. I think they're both tournament teams. Like I
Yep.
think that's the floor is pretty good here too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Shellstead and Biddle can go on a run. I think aforementioned Indiana players, Reed Bailey and some of those guys can step up and take Indiana. They're going to be really well coached.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'll take both of them just because I think their ceilings are. I'm playing like the ceiling game with this draft.
Sure.
I think their ceilings are just a little bit higher than Ohio State
Yep.
and like Iowa, Maryland, Wisconsin, etc.
The Oregon one just scares me a little bit. I did have them kind of in that next 2 or 3 guys also, but like Shellstad, if he misses more games than we expect, or if just Biddle goes down at any point,
Yeah,
I'm not really super big on the other bigs that they have here, and I don't
yeah.
think you want KJ Evans or Sean Stewart being like your whole front court.
It's
So I'm
funny. I'm looking at like all the logos in front of me here, and the same way you said Purdue is probably the most. Uh, what's the word I'm looking at? They're the most okay with an injury.
sure.
Oregon's in the top half of this conference by far the least.
Yeah, 100% agreed.
If one of their big guys go down, they are in a world of trouble.
But like I said, just the two of them alone just pretty much guarantees you a top 7 or 8 finish, I think. And I hate that we had to take Indiana as high as we did, but that's who I would have taken too, man. But there's just shooters everywhere, and that wins. So
Look, someone's going to get it right there. I don't know if he's going to be. I don't know if DeVries is going to be the guy, but he's got his son, and he's pretty good. So
yep, yeah, I can't go wrong with that. All right, I'm gonna go Washington next. I tend to lean toward where Ryan was at with these guys, so just a little higher. I have been like a generational hater about JJ Mandaquit and not understanding
oh, Ryan loves
the.
JJ
I know,
Mandiquit.
and I didn't get it. I'll be quite honest. I watched every single minute he played on that under 17 team and just kept thinking, why don't they just give the ball to Mikkel Brown and Caden Boozer the entire time? And then watching them in that scrimmage, I was like, holy shit, this is fun. He's zipping around. The ball is just like literally all over the place. He's just like wheeling and dealing. And they got dudes. You mentioned Kamari Peterson, Des Claude, and Wesley Yates. I think Yates just being older will be better. I was totally in on Des Claude, then I was totally out, and now I'm just going to go totally back in again. And you mentioned
Nice.
Steinbach. So they've just got dudes. I think they're maybe another team that the ceiling isn't as high, but they also can survive some injuries here a little bit, I think,
Yeah,
too.
I really want them to be good. Just want to put that out there because I think
Yeah.
it'd be fun for the conference and fun for the country. But we'll see.
Next year, I feel like a little gross about doing it because I tend to agree with you with the where the roster is at, but I'm gonna go Wisconsin just largely for Greg Gard stuff here, I think. And yeah, feels a little gross, but okay,
Nice.
I got to
That
do it.
sounds good. Well, then this is going to be easy. I'll take Maryland
Yeah, me too.
because we have to do it here. And also,
Yeah,
again, like speaking of high floors, like a Buzz Williams team is never going to be easy to play against. I said this earlier. Like they need guys who they need scorers to step up. Like
yeah,
we think it might be Miles Rice, and we think it could be Darius Adams. Like, what if it's not? Like, then they could be in a lot of trouble. I mean, Pharrell Payne is going to be, no pun intended, a pain for everybody else to deal with,
yeah.
and they're going to have 8, 9, even 10 guys at times that they're playing. I'm concerned about lack of scoring potential, but
Mhm.
I hope that they can figure it out because of buzz ball, so to speak.
Yeah,
Um,
I think Passmore does really hurt. Just that one extra
yeah,
guy that could have been a 10 point per game, good defender, switchable,
yeah.
would have been nice.
Like
But
they're asking a lot of Diggy Coit,
yeah, exactly.
and he might be good, but nobody knows. Like literally nobody knows. And I'll take Ohio State. I mean, I had them at 5 in the rankings. I think they're about as safe of a floor as anybody. Also, potentially a low ceiling, but I'll ride with Bruce Thornton when push comes to shove.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with a Bruce Thornton team. Let's see. I'm bad at math. How many
I think
teams is that for both
that's
of us?
10. That's it. We're
One,
done.
two,
Wait,
three,
did I take
four,
too many?
five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was 11. So why don't we go
That was
12
11.
each? So I'll round us out with one
No, I
more.
get it. No, no. I'm happy to just skip Ohio State and make Maryland the last pick of the draft.
Okay, I like that too. Fuck Ohio State.
Ohio State, who I had number 5 in my rankings of the Big Ten regular season, I am leaving out completely of the top 10 here.
I think that's smart though, honestly, just from again, I don't know that I trust Jake Diebler to make a run in the postseason, especially given we've seen all of these other coaches do
Yeah.
that in some capacity, and don't think they're going to survive a ton of injuries here. Like I don't think you want Gabe Cupps playing like 25 minutes a
No.
game for Ohio State.
No, I don't think so either. By the way, we didn't nobody drafted them, but like I would have taken Northwestern at some point because Nick Martinelli is like my favorite player in the
He's
conference.
so
He's the
good,
best.
man.
He's the best, man.
I they're like a team where I just have like no animosity toward whatsoever, just because it's I kind of feel bad for them some of the time, but also they play really hard. So I'm with you. Yeah, I think that would have been good. I think like Nebraska would have been one that's like sneaky for
Yeah,
me in
that's
that
yours.
the mix.
I was gonna say Minnesota. Like
Yeah,
I think the roster is.
it's a lot better, just like genuinely a lot better.
I was gonna say it's bad.
Oh, it's better than I mean, but think about where they were.
I
Other, it was
know.
Dawson Garcia and people
I
before.
know.
Like,
I know. They got Durkin. They bring back Asuma. They have Chance Stevens, of course.
obviously,
Crocker. I mean, I just love Nico Medved, and
he's so good.
I think he's going to get it right there. It is going to take a couple of years, unfortunately. Cade Tyson. You
Kate
said that.
Tyson, that's right.
That's
The
right.
only person we didn't mention that we have to shout out here from one of these teams that could be a total difference maker is the incoming international forward transferring into Washington. We have to talk about Matty Trayor, former Terp, coming in to
I thought you
bolster
were
the
saying.
front court.
I was like, I already talked about Hans coming
Yeah,
back. What are you
exactly.
talking about?
Yeah, no, I don't expect Mr. Trayor to play much. But when you mentioned
Uh,
Stevens, I was like, I know there
yeah,
was another fringe
yeah.
Terp.
I'm just happy Traore is still playing basketball.
Yeah, good for him. Best of luck to him. I hope
Yeah.
he gets dunked on when Mary plays. I know, I'm just kidding. I have
Yeah,
no ill
I
will. I
don't
hope
think
it works out for him. But
something
yeah,
tells me he's not going to play that much.
yeah, tend to agree with you. I feel bad because I would have liked to take USC just because of the Rodney Rice factor. I loved him. That was my favorite guy last year. So I hope
Yeah,
he
that's right.
just cooks everybody except Maryland.
There's the Arenas injury is bad.
That's
Like
exactly it.
I really don't like Chad Baker Mazzara that much.
Yeah.
Terrence Williams is like really good,
Hmm.
and Rodney Rice is really good. It's
The
gonna be
big
sloppy. It's gonna be sloppy.
the bigs are a little questionable. Like I don't know how good
Yeah,
Jacob Kofi and guys like that actually are.
yeah,
They do have a gigantic dude. Gabe Dines comes in from Youngstown State. He's 7'5" or 6, something like that. So
love
I
it,
just love a good gimmicky huge man.
love it.
So
Purdue is gonna be so mad when they
and they're
play
gonna be
him.
pissed. Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to see him and Jacobson
yeah,
do a jump ball together.
just do a jump ball and then sub each other out
That's
and
it.
call it a
That's
day.
it. Or
That's
maybe
it.
guard an inbound. That's about
That's
it.
right. I'm in.
Adam, anything you want to mention or feel like you should shout out about this conference or anything before we close things out that we didn't talk about yet?
No, no. I think like Ryan and I just did the Big 12, and we're like, oh my God, the top six is so good.
Yeah.
It doesn't really feel that way for the big. I kind of like teased this earlier, but like the top one is
One. Yeah.
they're one in the country for a reason preseason, bringing back two literal All Americans, potential national player. Well, either of them could win national
Both
player of
could,
the
yeah, which
year.
is nuts. Yeah.
Um, Michigan has a national player of the year candidate of their own. And then there's a couple teams who like could make runs, but it
Mhm.
just feels like 3 through 13 is like a blob.
Yeah.
And that is always the Big Ten, but it feels like even more so this year. So I'm really interested to see like if that means 11 teams make it in March, because I think it's entirely possible that
Hmm.
the middle just completely beats up on each other, but does good enough out of conference. Like there's a lot of really good out of conference schedules. I think Maryland's a great example of like
It's loaded.
a middle
No,
of the
I think,
pack team who has a really strong
yeah,
out of conference schedule, and
100%.
that could turn things the right way.
Yep. Yeah. Or the wrong way. Unfortunately for us,
Yeah,
we'll see how it
yeah.
goes.
Well,
If you take too many lumps, like I just think they can't weather like the solo injury and things like that for very long.
yeah. Like, if they go out and like lose to UNLV in Vegas first game, then I think
Yeah, it could be a long year.
that would be bad. See you in Vegas, by the way.
I can't wait. Yeah, for anybody who hasn't gotten their tickets yet, come hang out with Adam and I. We're gonna go cheer our guys on here. Seeing them play Gonzaga in Vegas just will be epic. I can't even
Yeah,
wait for that.
it's I am. My wife is in earshot of me right now. She's going to hear me say this. We are hosting Thanksgiving that week.
Okay,
And so I am basically watching the Gonzaga Maryland game and then going to
red
the
eye.
airport to take a
Go
red
for it.
eye home on Tuesday night.
Smart.
Ryan and I are trying to figure out how to cover 22 games in 2 days. Don't know how we're going to do that, but
That's
I'm
a lot.
really excited. I mean, there are games starting at 10 a.m.
Oh
Vegas
yeah,
time,
it's nuts.
so
Yeah.
it'll be a really good time.
Very cool. Well, if folks want to just follow along with all that great coverage, and you guys really do an awesome job together. So it is a two-man production. No matter how much he gets top billing there, I appreciate what you do for the show and all the Maryland plugs. That goes a long way.
Yeah, that was my whole thing with the Big Ten rankings. Is I said to Ryan, I was like, I want to put Indiana 5. He's like, do it. I was like, absolutely not.
You
Like, I
can't just
can't.
out of principle. Yeah.
No, that's out of principle. So yeah, I bring Maryland in as much as I can. That's my job. Wait till we do the Big East preview. Just leave it at that.
Ooh, okay. I'm excited for that. Yeah. Where is the podcast available? Where can people find it? All that good stuff. If they're not already posted.
Everywhere. Yeah, it's I think it's all on it's on Spotify, Apple Music, everywhere else, but it's at BlueBlooded Pod on all the socials. I'm Adam H. Hammer. You probably already all follow Ryan already, so I'm not going to plug him. You don't need him.
Yeah, he's all right. And we talked about this off air, but we are getting Eric Hammer on here at some point, a
Yeah.
food content creator. We need him to do Xfinity because it's not that
Yeah.
good. So
Well,
maybe he'll put him on blast a little bit.
I've already every time we go to a stadium, I like do a hot dog thing, and I already told Eric's a Rutgers grad, and I said, Eric, like the Rutgers hot dog is so bad, and the entire experience at the rack is unfortunately so bad these days. So
That's
maybe
cool.
maybe he'll come to a Maryland game and do like a crab pretzel or something.
There you go. We got to spice things up here a little bit. That would be great. Adam, thank you so much for the time. This was a fun way, I think, to preview the conference here a little bit for folks listening. I mentioned we're going to have the UMBC preview on Saturday, and then
Nice.
next week to get ready for the season, we will also have that 70-minute long X's and O's deep dive into the offense and defense I've been teasing here for a little bit. I want to save that for right before the season when people are actually in basketball mode a little bit because we put so much time into it. So everybody can check that
Are
one
you
out.
gonna whiteboard? Are you gonna whiteboard for us?
We did it all off air and then kind of
I
break
love
down
it.
all the things we saw, and then
Love
so
it.
there won't be an actual film during the video, but it'll just be the result of all of that. There's a lot of sluggish basketball that we watched there with that last year's A&M team, but that's okay because now I have to get used to that, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
Did you hear the quote Buzz gave today? I'm sure you did about like there's been 24 practices and we look like a high major team in 5 of them. So
Yeah.
let's just hope he's being tough on them.
I think that's like kind of his move, and I have no idea what we'll do and how we'll play, and
Yeah.
uh, it's probably better to set the bar low and not disappoint
Yeah.
anybody.
Than
Whereas
the
he
other
came
way
in and we're
around.
like, we could win a championship. Like Purdue is
Yeah.
doing the full like championship or bust thing. I'm like, okay, more power to you, but yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Adam, thank you again, man. This is awesome.
Awesome. Go Terps.
All right, everybody, you know the drill. Rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate you, and remember to fear the podcast.